Welcome back to Fast Track. I'm Tommy Teal.
And I'm Paige Stovall. This Saturday, Purdue fought to do something it has not done since LBJ was in the White House. Win at Michigan. Let's take a look at the highlights.
First drive of the game, Joey Elliott hands it off to Ralph Bolden for 20 yards to start off his impressive day. And then it's Elliott faking the handoff and rolling out right before finding Bolden wide open on the left sideline for a 35-yard touchdown pass. Wouldn't take long for Michigan to respond, as running back Brandon Miner takes the handoff from Tate Forcier and fights his way 29 yards all the way to the end zone. And then it's Elliott tosses up the jump ball to Valentine once again, which would lead to a Carson Wiggs 41-yard field goal to make it 10-7 Purdue, and it looks like Coach Hope likes what he is seeing. But with a 10-10 ball game, at the start of the second quarter, once again it's Brandon Miner breaking free for 51 yards, making it 17-10 Michigan. Next Michigan drive, Forcier finds Roy Roundtree up the middle, who fights off a tackle and is off to the end zone, putting Michigan up 24-10. Early in the third, Forcier tries to pitch it to Miner, but Brandon King denies the lateral, recovering the ball at the 19-yard line. Purdue would take advantage as Ralph Bolden takes the handoff outside, using the block and into the end zone, pulling the Boilers within 7. But Michigan would answer, moving the ball down the field to the 6, and then Forcier would work his way into the end zone. But after the missed extra point, Purdue would move the ball and allow Bolden to do the honors of finding the end zone for his third touchdown of the day. And then came the unexpected onside kick recovered by the Boilermakers. And with momentum on Purdue's side, Elliott would go deep to Cortez Smith for 54 yards, putting Purdue ahead 31-30 in the third quarter. Early in the fourth, Elliott would find tight end Jeff Lindsey for a huge gain all the way down to the 8-yard line. And then it was senior leader Joey Elliott to the end zone on this 8-yard run. Michigan drives down to the 1-yard line as Miner finds the end zone. Now looking for the 2-point conversion, it's Ryan Kerrigan getting to Forcier for the sack and sealing the first Boiler win in Ann Arbor since 1966.
Purdue's win against Michigan was vital in the sense that it kept Purdue's bowl hopes alive. But what did it mean to the players personally? Joe Perello camped out at Purdue football practice this week to get some players' reactions.
The Boilermakers scored a historic victory this Saturday at Ann Arbor, Michigan, defeating the Michigan Wolverines in the Big House for the first time since 1966, and completing a season in which they defeated Ohio State and Michigan in the same year for the first time since 2000. I got to speak with a few of the Boilermakers on their win.
It was really big because I didn't know that we haven't won there in I don't know how many years, 40, 30 years. So, I mean, that really motivated me when Coach Hope told me that. I think it was Tuesday in meetings when he told us that. So I really wanted to do that for the program. I knew that would be big for the program for us to go out there and win.
It has been quite a while since Purdue has won at the Big House, something Purdue coach Danny Hope did not let his players forget.
we hadn't beat Michigan since he was 7, so it was kind of funny. I hadn't beat him since Bob Greasy played, so it was we just used it as motivation. It's actually a really long streak, beating us at home. So it was kind of embarrassing. So we just took it upon ourselves to go play hard.
With Purdue's victory over Michigan secure, the only thing left to argue about is whether this 2009 season is already special.
It won't be special to the end. Then you can look back at it. I mean, it's not really hitting us right now. We're still trying to play. We still got Michigan State to play a real good team, and then we got IU, so we're still trying to beat these two teams so we can make it to a bowl game.
If we can get these next 2 wins, it'll be a spectacular season. It'll be more than special. It'll be tremendous, but it's already special right now.
Now let's go to Shadia Sanders to find out what the weather will be like for this week's Michigan State game.
Good day, everyone. I'm Shadia Sanders. This week with your local forecast, we're going to go ahead and get things started. We're going to talk about your weekend weather, the possibility of rain on the way, and then this week add some weather trivia to see what you guys know about weather. But first, our almanac. Average temperatures for this time of year, 53 is the high, 35 is the low, and it's going to be warmer than it was last year. Now, we're right now in for next week, we're going to be a little bit higher than the average, but don't think that winter isn't coming, which you can see right here as the sunrise and sunset get closer and closer together. So take a look at the weekend. Here's our weekend watch. This map is of Friday, And as you can see, most of the Midwest is clear, but we do have to watch out for this front, this cold front right here, and the precipitation that's right behind it. We have to see how quickly that's going to be moving into our area and see if it's coming on Saturday. Now for this Saturday, as you guys know, Boilermaker football is their last home game against Michigan State. Game time starts at noon. Daytime high, 65 degrees. It's going to be mostly sunny, but in the evening, a low of 48, and we're going to have to watch out for that precipitation there. Now for Sunday, it's going to be a little bit cooler. Most of Indiana, about 59 degrees. The southern parts, about 65 degrees, so it's going to be a little bit warmer. And in terms of precipitation for Sunday, as you can see, most of Indiana has about a 50% chance of rain on Sunday, but you're not going to have a lot of accumulation with that. Now for the rest of the week, here's what we're looking at. Monday, a high of 55 degrees. Very small chance of precipitation. If there is any rain, it will be very trace amounts. Tuesday and Wednesday, a little bit higher chance of rain. Thursday, a higher chance of rain also. And as we're on the subject of rain, here is your weather trivia question of the week. Rain contains which vitamin? Is it vitamin A, vitamin B12, vitamin C, or vitamin D? Let me know what you guys think. So what do you guys think is the answer? Vitamin A, B12, C, or D? What do you got, Paige?
I'm going to have to go with C.
I'm going to take a guess and go with vitamin B12.
B12, well, C. Tommy, you are correct. It is actually vitamin B12 that is found in rain. And that's all for this week's local forecast.
And now back in the world in sports, she's being called the meanest player in women's soccer. You've probably seen the video, now see the reaction to it. Jeannie Mose reports on the ponytail grab seen around the world.
It was the hair pull that had jaws dropping and tongues wagging.
What? That's incredible. Did she not think anybody would notice? That's outrageous.
Look, watch, what? Oh. Ooh.
Oh my goodness.
Oh my gosh.
How rude.
The reviews of Elizabeth Lambert's conduct were brutal. The dirtiest player in women's soccer, the most violent female soccer player in history. Cheap shot Lambert. YouTubers put the University of New Mexico students' moves to music. Lambert got lambasted by TV hosts.
It is sick. It's sick. It's vile.
By kids on YouTube.
That Lambert chick, she's really crazy.
By a hooded guy called Mr. Duty Head.
She's like an angry man. And the weirdest thing is, she's an attractive lady.
She's a bully.
Wow, I thought my ex was bad. That's terrible.
In her defense, her Brigham Young University opponent did elbow her in the chest before Lambert whacked her back, and another opponent grabbed onto her shorts before Lambert grabbed her braid. The hair pull has become the new headbutt. Remember Zinedine Zidane, the French captain who headbutted an Italian player at the World Cup? The headbutters team lost, and so did Elizabeth Lambert's by 1 goal. The girl Lambert jabbed in the back got back at her by pointing at the scoreboard. Some were more forgiving.
Stuff happens.
And though a ban Elizabeth Lambert from college soccer page sprouted on Facebook, a free Elizabeth Lambert Facebook page also popped up. My kind of chica, she's tough. So were these high school girls, Rhode Island soccer players who got into a little brawl Sunday night. Later, the fans got into it. Elizabeth Lambert apologized and was suspended indefinitely. Her player profile says she's studying occupational therapy, which could come in handy treating the opponents she decks.
Brutish, but also kind of hottish.
Hot under the collar.
Damn, like that.
Jeannie Mose, CNN.
That's a really mean girl.
New York.
In this week's Sports Roundup, we have some highs and lows in volleyball and basketball, but we're going to start with women's soccer.
After a year's hiatus, the women's Purdue soccer team will be returning to the NCAA tournament on Friday to take on the Central Michigan Chippewas. Friday's game is set for 5 p.m. at the University of Notre Dame in South Bend, Indiana.
After a 3-0 loss to Minnesota on the 8th, the Purdue women's volleyball team is looking forward to their meeting with Michigan in Ann Arbor on the 13th, and then to East Lansing to meet Michigan State on the 14th. This team is currently 12-13.
The Purdue men's basketball team finished up their exhibition games this past Monday with a 74-52 win over Kentucky Wesleyan. The 7th-ranked Boilers take on Cal State Northridge on Friday to kick off their regular season at 7 p.m.
The Purdue women's basketball team won their only exhibition game of the season last Sunday, 74-39 against Lindsey Wilson. Their next game is at home on the 15th at 1 p.m. against Western Illinois. When we come back, JD and Janae will have the 411 on one of the biggest pep rallies of the year in the community calendar.
And we have a warning about the holiday jobs outlook. This and more when Fast Track continues.
Tired of the same old packaged meals in your dorm or apartment? Then make sure that you check out Wiley's Dining Court, the latest addition to Purdue's dining halls. Wiley offers a wide selection of meals that you can customize, including make your own pastas, pizzas, deli, and salads. Specific to Wiley is the Churrascaria Brazilian Steakhouse, where they have a unique way of serving food. You can fuel up for a day of classes, grab some lunch, or unwind with friends at Wiley any day of the week. Make sure you get your next meal at Wiley.